Nurses, are you ready for a continuing education audit in New Jersey? At the conclusion of this microeducation, 100% of participants will demonstrate an understanding of the New Jersey State Board of Nursing's continuing education requirements. The New Jersey State Board of Nursing Law 1337-5.3 regarding continuing education hours for nurses mandates nurses must complete 30 hours of continuing education every 2 years. This applies to RNs, LPNs, and advanced practice nurses. If a nurse completes more than 30 CE every 2 years, 15 CE may be carried over to the following period of renewal. Effective with renewals beginning June 1st of 2020, any nurses who renew their license in the state of New Jersey must complete at least one continuing education hour on the topic of opioid drugs. The topic can include prescription opioids, alternative to opioids for managing and treating pain, the risks of use, signs of opioid abuse and addiction, and also diversion. It is the sole responsibility of the individual nurse to maintain strict record keeping, proof of their continuing education hours. The Board of Nursing recommends maintaining those records for at least 4 years. Similar to when you do your taxes, it is your responsibility to have and maintain proof of what you are filing. Is the New Jersey Board of Nursing currently performing random continuing education audits? Well, there's no evidence to support random audits are being performed by the New Jersey Board at this time. However, your license could be subject to random audit at any time. And I know what you're thinking, that's not a solid answer, but similar to the IRS, the New Jersey State Board of Nursing has certain red flags that will put your license under the microscope for a thorough exam. There are 2 things for certain that will trigger an audit of your continuing education hours for your license. They include an action against your license or a complaint against you to the Board of Nursing. Let's start with an action against your license. To the right of your screen, you will see an actual Board of Nursing administrative action. These become a matter of public record, but I have intentionally removed the nurse's name for the purpose of this education. In this screen, you can see an actual case where a nurse was found guilty of a serious board violation reported by her employer. As a result, the Board of Nursing performed a deep dive into the nurse's license renewal. The nurse checked yes when renewing her license, stating that all CE requirements had been met. The board requested documented proof of all CE obtained during the 2-year period. So some of you may be thinking, well, that's an extreme case. That nurse really went off the rails with her behavior. But I can assure you, it can also happen to you, even if it's a lesser offense or even if an honest mistake or misunderstanding occurred. A savvy consumer or even a patient or family member with a perceived wrongdoing, or perhaps a spiteful patient who you were compliant with medication administration and they were just simply unhappy with you. With just a couple keystrokes or research, virtually anybody can lodge a complaint against you with the Board of Nursing. This will put you in the spotlight and right on the Board of Nursing's radar. Here's a new Attorney General proposal that was recently approved. The Attorney General approved NJAC 1345C-4.1, 4.2, and 4.3 in January 2023. It was published in the New Jersey Register on March 20th, 2023, just this past Monday. This new rule makes it easier for those to act against a licensed healthcare professional. The new rule includes all licensees under the Division of Consumer Affairs, which includes nurses. It addresses discrimination, harassment, and retaliatory practices. Any complaints against healthcare workers will be considered professional or occupational misconduct. Since this is passed, any patient, patient's family member, coworker, student, supervisor, etc., may file a complaint for any perceived discriminatory practices. Since this has now been passed, the board will investigate every complaint. Any complaint that ends up in the Board of Nursing will be fully investigated, and you can guarantee that the board will request your educational files and you will be prepared to present your proof of CE. Obtaining our continuing education hours is an essential part of maintaining our nursing license, but it is also important for continued professional nursing development. Adding to our knowledge base with professional development ensures high-quality care, which improves patient outcomes. The ANCC recommends choosing education to enhance our practice within our own practice area. Choosing education that provides knowledge on a gap will help improve care delivery and outcomes, regardless of the area of practice you are in. As a result, incidentally, it will also reduce healthcare costs. Courses or programs must always be related to nursing and ideally in your field of practice. Below is a list of acceptable providers, including the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, International Association for Continuing Education, training courses or programs approved by the American Nurses Credentialing Center, or ANCC, and those include programs such as the one offered today from the New Jersey State Nurses Association. The formula for being awarded nursing continuing professional development hours is 1 hour for each 60 minutes of attendance. Additional sources of education can be provided by any state or federal agency with continuing medical education courses, provided that they are on the list below and once again are pertaining to nursing. A formula of 1 hour of education credits for every full 60 minutes of education taken is the rule. All of the information listed about ways to obtain education hours is listed on the New Jersey State Board of Nursing website. There are many other ways to obtain CE other than online courses and sitting in a class or seminar that a lot of nurses are not aware of. Here are some examples. College courses at an accredited college or university are acceptable. The formula is earn 5 hours of CE for every 1 college credit that is successfully completed. Additionally, completing a doctoral dissertation will earn you 30 hours of credit. Remember, you can roll over 15 CE per biannual period. Teaching or developing a new curriculum for a CE program is a way to earn CE. So for some of you, your positions at work consist of developing these new educational programs. Well, while you are developing a program, you are also earning 1 hour of credit for every 60 minutes. Additional ways to get credits is teaching or developing curriculum for a new course at an accredited school of nursing. If you do this, you'll receive 5 hours of CE for every credit that you taught or developed. Now remember, it's your responsibility to keep track and record keep your hours. You could not have taught this content in any other setting for it to be considered new and count for CE hours. It has to be the very first time you develop it or teach it. Have you ever been voluntold that you're going to be a preceptor? You're so good. You're all we have. And then you end up precepting new hire after new hire after new hire. Well, you're in luck. Keep track of all those preceptor hours. Serving as a preceptor for 100 hours will earn you 10 CE towards your license renewal, as outlined by the New Jersey State Board of Nursing. Being a published author will earn you 15 hours of CE. You can take credit for 2 articles every 2 years for a total of 30 hours of CE. But remember, although that completes all CE required in your renewal period, you still have to take your 1 hour of required opioid education. Publishing a textbook or authoring a chapter will earn you CE hours. You will receive 15 hours of CE per chapter, up to 30 hours of CE for 2 years. Again, don't forget your mandatory CE requirement on opioids. How about presenting a new lecture or seminar related to nursing to your peers? If this is a presentation you've never presented before and it's 1 hour long, you will earn 1 hour of CE for every 50 minutes of your presentation. This counts for the first presentation only and not the subsequent presentations of this new lecture or seminar. Research can earn you CE if you are the primary or co-investigator in an IRB-approved study. Upon completion of your research, you will earn 30 hours of CE. If a qualifying CE activity can be allocated to more than one of these options that we've discussed, it can only be used once. For example, if you are precepting a nurse and they sit on a research study, you cannot take credit for both research and precepting. No double dipping. If you develop new instructional materials in the form of video or similar for the purpose of future training on the content, you will be eligible to use this work as credits for CE. For each educational video program developed, you will earn 15 hours of CE, up to a maximum of 30 hours per renewal period of 2 years. In conclusion, please remember that the New Jersey State Board of Nursing may perform random audits at any time. They'll perform audits if something flags on your license, and in addition to an actual certificate, they may request additional information such as the article that you published, a copy of the book title and publication date, a copy of a transcript from some sort of seminar or class that you attended. Thank you for attending this microeducation program. I hope that you found it helpful. Please remember to complete your post-test and evaluation. These links can be found in the original email you received. For any questions not answered on this presentation, you can click on the New Jersey State Board of Nursing website, or I can be reached at lisa@njsna.org. Thank you, have a great day, and remember to practice self-care each day.